Okay, I already started recording once, so I'm going to try this again. Hello, welcome. I'm a little bouncy today because I'm recording while I'm walking. And it's getting dark here, but I just really felt like I needed to come on and record a little video. Not exactly sure where this is being shared yet, but probably for my YouTube channel. But I've been, well, first of all, if you're new here and we have never met, my name is Lori Conkler. I'm an integrative success coach, consultant, mentor, and I have been a little absent recently from YouTube and really from video in large part altogether, so on all of the different platforms that I'm on. And even like pulling back from my Telegram voice channel more so lately, and I have been feeling a bit of a pull, sorry, trying to shake out my hands there, a little bit more of a pull to come on and speak, because I think that it's important, especially in this day and age of so many people utilizing AI to write for them, which, I mean, apparently you can also record video now. This is not AI, this is me, human. But I think, our authentic voices are so important, even when we don't know exactly what we are here to say. And I also had felt myself kind of like, because it had been a while since I recorded something, just kind of like pulling back, even though it's something I really typically enjoy doing. So I have committed to myself to record something every day for 21 days. And who knows, I might keep it going beyond then. And some of those recordings might be for YouTube. Some might be lives on Facebook. Some actually might just be audios that I record either for my Telegram channel or to put, up on YouTube as just an audio. And some might just be for me, to be honest. But really starting to record my voice more. Voice memos are something that I've always loved doing, like back and forth with my clients. I've typically, enjoyed doing my Telegram channel. Sorry, a little out of breath, and someone's coming here on a bike, so un momento. Okay, so yeah, I just decided it was time to do this, largely because it's something that I help so many people to do, is to really find their voice. And I say that because it happens in so many ways, and largely, honestly, it happens more from a business perspective, where I'm helping people to speak in a way that they're really connecting with their audience more. But it used to be something that I did from like a marketing perspective, and positioned myself largely as like a marketing and messaging coach. And while that is definitely, turn around here, part of what I do, what I found was that most people weren't really articulating the depth of what it was that they were here to say, or that they weren't speaking with conviction in their content, in their conversations about what they do, about their work, about the power of their work. And so me being quiet, the wind's picked up a little bit, with me being kind of quiet recently, I determined that that wasn't the vibe that I wanted to have. One moment here. Okay, let's try this without the headphones. I don't know, the sound will either be better or worse, but recording this nonetheless. But anyway, the way that people struggle with content, and I don't want to say struggle, because many of you and many of the people that I've worked with are like really good with their words, but oftentimes people saying what think they're supposed to say, rather than really speaking from conviction, from knowing, from owning the depths of your genius, of yourself, and what it is that you're here to do and say. And it's more than just sharing your truth or saying whatever you want, but really actually showing up as who the fuck you are, saying the things that you need to say, saying the things that are going to change people's lives. And and change people's experiences. So lives depending on, of course, the type of things that you're trying to say and do. But so many of us have been conditioned to think that we need to stay quiet, that we shouldn't be speaking up, that we're too much, that we're too emotional, that we're too whatever. So somewhere along the way, largely for many people, it goes back to probably some type of childhood thing that's then repeated and looped in different ways throughout our whole entire lives, and showing up in business and content, in relationships, in all of it. And most recently, I've been talking to a lot of property owners, specifically like small hotels, bed and breakfasts, retreat center owners, and all of them with like these extremely beautiful properties. Okay, people keep biking and walking and driving by. But anyway, I've been speaking with these property owners, and I've worked for a large part of my coaching and consulting career with online business owners and coaches and consultants and people in similar spaces to where I am right now. My past life was in hotels and tourism, and I did a lot of work myself in that space and have consulted with people for several years in that space as well. But my content hadn't really been speaking to them, and honestly, I hadn't been focused on this particular niche. But having these conversations has just made me realize like how the things that I've been saying for online business owners, how it carries over to other business types and just other people in general. And it really isn't just a business owner problem, but from the property perspective of just, asking why should somebody come stay at your property versus any other property. And people started talking about, well, I have this many rooms and I have AC and I have Wi-Fi and we have a pool and like all great features, but they're just fucking features. And I see it in other businesses like coaches talking about their processes and their programs and how they bring you love and light and all of these things, which honestly is great. I love it. But it's not actually speaking to the things that really matter to people. And for myself, I went through this journey. Honestly, it was a roller coaster where I was teaching, marketing, messaging, all of these things, and I myself was struggling to speak with conviction about what it was that I did and the impact that it could have and all of these things. And I hired and spent a lot of money on messaging coaches, thinking, well, I just need to fix my messaging and that'll fix it. And again, I was doing this work myself for a long time, and I still do, but I do it in a different way now. And I was doing this work with, other coaches, or I was hiring people to help me with my message. And sometimes, honestly, like I had one coach who would sometimes write pieces of content for me, and this is somebody who's wildly successful in this industry, who makes quite a bit of money. And so I was just like, damn, okay, if she writes my content, it's going to like be like that. And I was still getting clients. I was doing well, like anywhere between $15,000 to like $25,000 a month on average, which was great for me. And I even hit my peak month of $50,000. And it was so easy, and I remember that. But it wasn't necessarily a result of those words. And looking back and like tracing those things back, I recognized that even when I had the perfect words, it wasn't necessarily always converting, because the words weren't the issue. It was me. It was how I was speaking. It was the conviction in which I spoke. It was how I was showing up in my life, in my work, how embodied I was in the things that I believed and taught. And sorry, getting off track here from the perspective of these property owners and really speaking with conviction about what they have to offer. Again, they were talking about the features of what they have, but not the impact that it creates. They're not talking about the experiences that retreat leaders are having at their properties. They're not talking about how you feel when you're there. They're not talking about why their place is so much more transformational than somewhere else. And in like the coaching world, messaging and etc. has become such a huge thing. But seeing it again in other businesses, I'm recognizing, just what a big issue it is across the board. And it's not just a business problem. It's not just you need the right words, because like I was saying, I had a coach who would sometimes write my content, and I didn't make any more sales because of it. And the months where I did make the most sales, it was when I was showing up in a certain way. It was when I was speaking a certain way, both in content, in conversations, in the way that I carried myself, in my energy. And that's the thing, it's both. And, there's these ongoing back and forth arguments, like, is it about strategy? Is it your words? Is it your marketing? Is it, your sales? Or is it energy? Is it your embodiment? Is it your mindset? And the truth is it's all of it. And why I don't just teach straight messaging and marketing fully anymore is because I found this to be the case in so many ways. And yes, sometimes someone will come in and they've got their shit together, like from the energetic standpoint, and it's really easy, and it is just a matter sometimes of tweaking their words. But sometimes even really successful, like highly successful businesses and people still face this issue. And it comes back to that expression and really being able to show up and speak in a way that transmits the power of what it is that you do, so that people can feel and see themselves in that. And that comes when you show up as the version of you who is able to own that, who is able to own your genius, who is able to speak with conviction, with power, as a fully embodied version of you that is going to attract the right opportunities, the right clients, the right people, the right relationships, money, everything that you want. It comes as a result of who you're being and how you're showing up, not just the words that you're saying. And that's why you can have the perfect words, the perfect strategy, the perfect marketing, and it won't work. But on the flip side, you can also go deep into embodiment work, energy work, and it doesn't work either, because you do need both sides. So moral of the story is I decided to start recording these videos because I myself was not speaking a whole lot. I was writing content. I was writing content, but I felt this I have something to say, but I don't necessarily know what it is. So I let it stop me. Or I was just, you shouldn't say that, or maybe that's not the right thing to say right now. And I was getting in my head, which I know happens to so many of you in so many ways. And sometimes you just have to show up and speak and know that the right people are going to hear what it is that you have to say. And from the property owner perspective, when you're speaking in a certain way, when you're speaking to the people that are actually meant to be at your property, when you're speaking in a way that connects directly to what it is that they're looking for, what they want, you attract the right people, the right opportunities at the right time. So it's a little bit of the magic, it's a little bit of the mystical, because it's really not magic, but it's also the strategy. And I am doing a little bit of both. But right now it is showing up and speaking and sharing whatever it is that I have to say for the next 21 days. And from there, we'll see. But anyway, it is getting dark now, so I'm going to need to cut off, because pretty soon you will no longer be able to even see me. And like I said, more videos, more audios coming over the next few weeks. Come find me in the other places if you don't see them here where you're watching this video, because I will be sharing them and be sharing more just off the cuff messages, whatever's coming through at the time, and probably a lot more insights, because to be honest, I know how powerful my work is, and I know that I'm doing myself and many of you a disservice when I'm not showing up and saying the things that you need to hear. So I will be doing that more myself, and I can't wait to hear about you doing the same. So if you're ready to claim your voice, ready to speak with conviction, ready to fucking let life, business, success be easy, this is the magic potion. Like, this is the door that gets you there. So claim it, share it, and I will see you back here or somewhere in the next video.